Okay, so this is just a plaque-shaped cookie. Sorry about some of the shadows. The lighting's not great in here, but I'm just going to flood this in white royal icing. So I have my little piping bag here. And I'm going to start on anything that's got a shape where it has a point. I'll start here and wrap around and kind of do it in sections all the way around. And I'm doing this through a camera, so be patient with me as I figure out where I am on this cookie. Start there. I'm going to touch down there. Turn it. And I've got a small little turntable I've got it sitting on. So it's easy to spin and maneuver. Obviously that is nowhere near perfect. Doing it through a camera is a little difficult, but basically what you're going to do at this point is you're going to take the same piping bag. I have it, all of this at like a flooding consistency is what it would be called. And I'm just going to fill it in. I must have a little, sometimes you'll get little knots of powdered sugar in there if it didn't sift really well, so just pull that out. There we go. You're just going to fill it in all the way around. Obviously, this is not a huge pattern I'm doing here. I'm just trying to fill it. Down here at the bottom. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've left some gaps. That's no worries. We're going to use this scribing tool to fill that in. So I'm just going to bring it to where it touches the border. But also you can, if you find that you want your icing closer to the edge, you can actually, since it hasn't set up yet, you can actually move that border. Like right here, I want it a little bit closer, so I'm going to move that. And I'm going in like little bitty circles. I'm not really scratching the surface of the cookie. I'm just barely moving the icing, just very lightly. I'm not really applying a lot of pressure. Let's get this a little closer. Because you don't want to get cookie crumbs in your icing, so I don't want to scratch the cookie too much. Small circles all the way around. Right here, I'm going to pull that a little closer to the edge. Now you can also do this where you pipe a thicker consistency royal icing as your border. And that's actually what I did for years. But then when I realized I could do this and not have to make two different consistencies of every color, made my life a little bit easier. I'm going to pull this a little closer here. And then again up here just to get those edges. This one's being a little tricky. There we go. And you can kind of just do this until it's dry, or I mean until it is the way you want it to be, as long as you do it before it sets up and dries. I think we're good. So that's really what you're left with. And then you're going to let this sit for roughly 12 hours, so just basically overnight, before you apply the next layer of icing. Okay, so back again with another one of these little plaque shapes. So this one I'm going to be doing in kind of like a burgundy color. I just wanted to show you for a second round. I thought it might be a little bit easier to see in color as well. So again, bear with me as I maneuver this around. I'm going to start here again. I'm going to turn it there's like a handle on this camera that's totally in my way. I'm going to have to recut the hole. See how it's not dragging, or it's not being continuous. I have to keep going back over it. I don't know if it's the hole in the bag is being weird, but let me clip that again, see if that helps. Yes, much better. Again, not the best. Please know that normally is much better than this. I'm going to have to rearrange how I do my hand on this because it's not working. Look how that's pretty horrible. That's what not to do. So let me get underneath here with my hand and fill this in. But what you're going to see, maybe it's good this happened, because you're going to see that you can still make it look nice with the scribing tool. And if you don't have a scribing tool, that's okay. You just need something small that you can work the icing around with. A while back, if you've ever watched one of my older YouTube videos on cookie decorating, I use the handle of a broken paintbrush, not a big one, obviously, something you use for art projects. But not the bristles. The bristles broke off and I used the handle for years. It was crazy. Okay, so I'm going to fix all my little horrible areas. As I go in circles here, I'm going to pull this and fix those, bring that back to a point. Got those circles, fix this as well. See how I'm just kind of pulling that where I want it? You do want a little bit of a border on your cookie, like you don't want to bring it over the edge because then it'll continue, the icing will dry, kind of dripping over the edge, which is never a good look. You want a clean edge. And as you get used to different consistencies on icing, you'll know kind of, okay, so this is too thin, it's going to cause it to drip, or this is just the right, you know, some people, different decorators have different preferences. But I think the quickest way to do it is having it all the same consistency to flood the background, so you aren't having to switch bags or switch consistencies from like border to flooding. This one's still looking a little sketchy. Pull that one a little further over. Getting better. Okay, I think we managed to pull it through, pull it together. Ta-da! Okay, looks much better than it did at the beginning. Okay, now we're going to do a circle. Now, I will be honest with you, I'm not a fan of making circle cookies because it's very hard to draw a circle. Doing it via camera is going to be even more difficult, but we're going to see if we can pull this off. So I'm going to start at this edge over here, and I'm actually using my turntable to rotate this so that I don't have to try to draw a perfect circle, which we all know is impossible. So I'm keeping my eye right on the edge of the cookie, so as my piping bag will land, oh, see I missed a spot there, right where the turntable is bringing it. I'm not really moving my piping bag to get that. So as you can see, more space over here than over here, so not great, but we're going to fill it back in. And this turntable, I think I just got at Hobby Lobby. It's a tiny little, I'll show you at the end, turntable meant specifically for decorative cookies. But I also use it if I'm making a specific fondant piece for a cake and it is like I have to like draw on it or has a really fine print. I'll place it on this little turntable just so I can spin it, rotate it, and work with it a little bit easier. So here we go again with the little circles to fill it. So all the way around. And to get this color, which is it's kind of like a burgundy color, maroon maybe. If you don't have maroon food coloring, which you can buy, but it's hard to come by, you can use quite a bit of red. You'll need a good bit of red and a little bit of black. Some people will add brown, but it needs to be a dark brown. Like I've seen the food coloring warm brown, and it's not dark enough. It doesn't really do much for this. So let me hold an angle where you can actually see. That's what it's really going to look like. You're seeing it kind of an angle where you're seeing more of that edge, but really it's more covered than that. So That one looks pretty good. The turntable really helps with the circles. Okay, so back here with another circle. This was going to be more like a yellow gold color. Can you guess what the theme is based off the white, burgundy, and gold? We'll see what you think about that. But it's going to be another circle. Again, using my turntable to rotate the cookie. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to just freehand that circle on there, because you can go back and manipulate the edging with a little bit of your scribing tool. Oh, got a little off center there. Okay, looks like mustard. All right, so let's go back in here and fill this in. My gosh, that looks just like mustard. That's hilarious. Okay, so there's that. Grab another scribing tool. And these scribing tools you can buy in like a pack on Amazon. I can't remember how many comes in a pack, maybe 8. So that you don't have to go and wash the same one every time you switch colors. So I think I bought 2 packs the time that I ordered them, because I'm doing some cookie orders have so many colors in them. And that way I don't have to keep going back and rewashing every 5 seconds. I can just keep all the different scribing tools beside me, or the colors I'm currently using, and just wash them all at the same time when I'm done. You could also try a toothpick. I don't like it as much, but I know a lot of people that say it works just fine for them. I kind of think it's what you're used to using more than anything. Okay. And so that one is done. Okay, I just wanted to show you what they look like the next morning. So it's been approximately, I don't know, 14 hours or so. And see how they are now like a matte finish. The gloss from the wet royal icing is completely gone. I'll bring one a little closer for you. Get that. There you go. And it's just very, that's about the thickness of the cookie I like, but also just want you to see the thickness of the royal icing. I'll show you another one. That's what you're looking for. Nice and flat on top, no bumps, no bulges. And see, this is the one that I did not do well. Remember that one in the video? See, I fixed it, but it's still not great. So I might pipe me a little border on this cookie today when I go to decorate these final. And these are the ones I didn't video these, but basically the same thing as the plaque, just square. So I wanted to see, or I wanted you to see what they look like after they set up. So it has a nice matte finish. Now they are ready for the next level of decorating. So for instance, on these back here, I'm using a black royal icing to pipe on them. So you definitely want to make sure this white is completely dry, or the black could bleed through. On some of the other ones, there's lighter colors, but these white ones will have some of this burgundy color on there. Again, it can bleed through, so that's why you have to make sure this is nice and dry. And I'm actually probably going to wait another couple hours before I even pipe on these. I've just got some other things going on today, which will actually guarantee even more. So let me know if you have any questions about flooding those cookies, getting that base coat of icing on, because that is the start of a beautiful cookie.